Welcome to Knit in the Zone. I'm Jen, and this is a vlog about all things yarn, knitting, sometimes crochet, and sometimes some other random fun things too. This is episode 46, and before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who is joining me today. Welcome to new viewers, and welcome back to returning viewers. I also want to let you know where you can find me across all of the social media things. I am Nitty Gritty Vegan on Ravelry. You can go to my yarn shop at traintrackfiberdesigns.com. That's where I sell all of my hand-dyed yarns. You can get all of the clickable links for everything that I mentioned on my vlog at knitinthezone.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I have two accounts. I have one for Knit in the Zone, and I also have one for Train Track Fiber Designs. So, yay! All right, I remembered everything. Let's get started. So, I want to tell you about my hat. I'd shown this earlier in the year on my vlog. This is probably the first time I think I've worn it on the vlog. So this is the Vintage Prim Hat by Andrea Mowry. It is a brioche project. It's kind of, I don't know what you call this on the back, but it's not brioche on the back. And I really like it a lot. It's reversible. I'm not going to take it off because if you saw my hair, you guys would be scared. But you can see that it's like, it's brioche, so it's reversible. This on the other side. I'm not a big hat person, but I really like this hat because the brim is super long, as you can see. So it kind of lets me roll it up. And because it's brioche, it kind of like, I don't know, it like puckers out. So I feel like it gives you, or for me anyway, it makes it look like there's something going on right here rather than it just being like a to your head. Because I think this is the part I don't like about hats is whenever it's like that on me. I like something with like a little bit of a, whatever, like a little bit of a brim almost. So yeah, so that's this hat. The colors I used, the one in the foreground that you guys are seeing most of, that is mid-70s summer. That's something I dyed in my shop, traintrackfiberdesigns.com. And then the one in the background is called Sandstone. It's just obviously like a kind of a goldy brown. That's something in my shop too. So that's my hat, and I love this pattern. I knit it again in another color with more of like a black and gray tone to it. So I have, two. So kind of, I can wear it with black or brown basically. So I like it a lot. It was a pretty easy pattern to do. The only thing, this was my second brioche pattern I ever knit, ever. And so up here at the top where there's decreases, which I don't know if you can see, it'd probably help if I did this. So up here somewhere, I didn't do one of the decreases right. So if you do knit this hat, if you're not really familiar with brioche, I would definitely recommend whenever you're starting to do the decreases to put a stitch marker, like at some point you go over like 5 stitches. So I would definitely recommend in that part, put a stitch marker, a locking stitch marker, where you're going to do your decreases so you know like how far in to go. So just do that every round because it gets confusing whenever you're doing brioche because you have 2 strands for 1 stitch on some of them. And so like if you're decreasing, you're not familiar, like sometimes you're not sure what you've counted or what you haven't counted or whatever. So anyways, if that makes sense. But yeah, and like I said, it was fun enough for me to knit the second one, so that's what I'm wearing. And I rambled on about that for like 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm stalking. I know I was supposed to be on a stalking diet, but I decided last night maybe that I really need a cowl. Since my hair is short now, I need a cowl whenever I basically walk around life and it's cold outside now. You don't realize how much having like a little ponytail helps you to stay warm, even if your hair is up, like I guess because it still like falls down your neck more. Like, goodness gracious, it's cold at nighttime if you go out with a dog. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I need a cowl. I do have scarves. I do have shawls. That's not going to work because whenever I bend, my dog's little and she's old, so I have to carry her a lot. So whenever I bend over, like a scarf or a shawl just go to the ground. So anyway, looking at shawls. At cows. So I found this one, and I actually saw this one this morning. I was watching Robin on the Cherry Pearls podcast, and I think she finished it already. but it drew my attention to this, and I'd already added one thing to my queue, but I'm going to show you this one first because I think it's really nifty. This is called Land of the Sweets, and it's by Helen Stewart, and I guess there's a Advent knit-along going on right now, and I didn't know about it, obviously. But what you do is you actually take minis and you knit this cowl. So it's a bunch of different minis. And there's no way it takes full-size minis for this. So obviously you're taking bits and pieces of minis. But it's a lace pattern, and well, it looks like it has some solid pieces and some lace, but it's really pretty, and I really like it a lot. I just screenshotted the one picture. I will link it on Knit in the Zone though, so you can go over there and, you know, look at it if you're interested. I've never knit anything from Helen Stewart, but I have a lot of things that I want to knit from her that are in my queue. She's a really popular designer, so you're probably familiar with some of her other things. But that's the first thing that I added, or first thing I'm going to show you guys. I actually added this before though. This is called Broken Time, and it's by Andrea Mowry. And it looks like it just has some lace and then some stripes and then another little solid panel down there. It's really cute. I really like Andrea Mowry's designs. I really, really liked her designs anyway, and then I watched an interview with her on Christy Glass's vlog, I guess, over the weekend. And I like her even more after seeing her little interview. She just seems like she's a really nice, down-to-earth person. So, yeah, I always liked her designs anyway. But then after watching somebody and, you know, just seeing them kind of in real life, even though it's not really, but, you know, seeing them interact and stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. So, anyways, that is by Andrea Mowry. And this is something else that I was stocking. This is not a cowl. This is called Latvian Blooms, and it's by Della Hossman. And these are obviously colorwork mittens, fingerless mittens. And this is a free pattern. I think they're really cute. I kind of got interested in colorwork a little bit whenever I knit the hat, what was it called? Beware of the Moose by Amy Miller a few weeks ago, I guess, or about a month ago. So I kind of got interested in doing a little bit more color work. So, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people doing color work mittens and gloves and fingerless mitts and things lately. So, I don't know. I just kind of thought those were cool because they're flowery. And I've seen a lot there, I don't know what that's called, but it's like very traditional looking where it's got like the snowflake looking things and stuff, and those are really pretty, but it's not really necessarily my style. Like, I'm more of like a flowery type person, so yeah, I found those. But like I said, all those patterns that I just mentioned will be at knitinthezone.com, so you can go over there and check them out and add them to your queue if you want. And I have a few things I'm working on. I did not bring my scrappy sock blanket in because I've only put, I think, 1, possibly 2 squares on it. And the colors that I used were repeats because you know, if you watched before, like, I've picked up some on the side. And so I've repeated a few colors down that way. So there wasn't really much to show. But I have made progress on the 2 things that I brought. So first of all, I'm going to show you Birkin. And this is just living in a Knit Picks tote. I don't know if this has a name or not, but it has really big pocket area, and it has this really cute design on the inside. And this is Birkin by Amy Miller. And let me see. All right, so last time I showed you guys, I was down here. And now I have separated, because it's worked in the round from the bottom up. So now I have separated for the front and the back. And this is the back. So I've knit, you know, from here up to here. And that's the back only. The front's, you know, obviously a little bit lower. But I've gotten that much done. And yeah, there's not really much to say about it. I haven't really done anything except for knit it. I haven't changed anything on it. The only thing I've changed about the pattern or anything at all is I'm knitting on a size US 3 needle for the whole thing. And the pattern called for you to knit, I think, on a 4. And so I've knit everything, including the ribbing, on a US 3. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I've done differently. So that's this. And the reason I did go down a needle size, I got gauge with what she had called for on the correct needle size, on a size 4, but I went down because I'm in between sizes. So I went down a needle size hoping it would compensate for that. So that's the progress I've made on this. And the next thing that I've made a lot of progress on, this is So Faded. This is by Andrea Mowry, and you've probably seen a million of these, but this is mine. So I've gotten a lot done. Last week whenever I vlogged, I was up here. Yeah, I think I was right here. So, because I was about where, I didn't put a progress keeper in, I should have, but I was on either the first or second row where I started going into the second color. So I've knit all of this. And I did do a thing though. So number one, if you didn't watch last week's episode, I'll tell you. So I'm knitting this on DK weight yarn. It was a fingering weight yarn project. And I am knitting it on the size 5 needles, which is what it called for in the pattern. And then I did another thing too. So what I did, if I was going to knit this in fingering weight, I would have knit, I don't know what the size options are, honestly, but I'm knitting a 34, and if I was going to knit it on fingering weight, I would have knit the size up from that. So if that was a 37 or whatever, that's what I would have made. But since I am knitting it in a larger yarn, I just kind of went with the size down. It said that it could be a tighter sweater if you wanted it to also, so I'm like, okay, cool. But what I did, because my shoulders are kind of broad, I knit the stitch count or whatever for the size 34 in the shoulders, and then after I separated for the arms, I tapered down very quickly, and you can see it's really obvious if you start staring at it. But I tapered down a lot right here. And I went down to what will be the size, or the stitch count, I guess, for the size 30. And that is totally not a size 30, by the way, so I'm not that little bitty. It's just, anyway, that's what I did. And then as I go, I'm going to try it on, and whenever I'm getting closer to like my hip area, I'm going to add some more stitches back. Maybe not as many as I have up in the shoulders, but I'm going to add some stitches back just to kind of make it go out a little bit, because I want it to be a little bit longer of a shirt. I don't want it to be a crop top, so I'm going to just add a couple of stitches back around the body as I go, and then that way it'll be, you know, wide enough to like stay down whenever I sit down and stuff. So that's what I've done, and I didn't change anything as far as anything else goes. The only thing that I may change though is I might make this green color right here a little bit longer than the other sections have been, only because my next color is a dark green, and I'm not sure, like I want to measure and make sure that it's going to hit me where I want it to without having to have like a ton of the dark green. Because if I'm going to have more of one of these colors or the other, then I want to definitely have more of this color, because that other green is really dark, and I think that it would throw it off balance if I had just a ton of that. So, but I really like it. I have a ton of leftover yarn. So yeah, and I'm going to do probably mid sleeves or 3/4 length sleeves, I guess, on this, because I'm not really into long sleeves on this sweater. I just find that they get in my way, and then I don't end up wearing the sweater because the sleeves are long and I have to roll them up, and so anyway, that's what I'm doing. But you'll see the sleeves as I make them too. And this is unfortunately living in a free tote from Knit Picks, because apparently I don't have any other cute knitting bags. I did find a place that makes a really cute one. It's called, I think it's called Row House. I think is what her shop is. It's Row House, I believe. But anyway, they're called like collapsible yarn bags, but they look like little totes, and they're very similar to like the Fringe Supply shape, but they don't have pockets on the inside. So I'm not sure that I'll end up getting one, but I think they're really cute. The no pockets thing kind of throws me off because I do like a pocket, but they're really adorable and they're sold out like anyway, so it doesn't matter if I want one or not. But she has a lot of cute different ones because I stalked her little page on Instagram and she has a ton of different ones that she just makes all kinds of cute. They're like print though, they're not solid, so they're really fun. So she's very creative and has a lot of really pretty ones, so go check her out. I'll link that as well in my show notes. Yeah. And then the other thing I'll show you guys, that's all of everything. I don't have any finished objects this week or any other things I'm working on. Hopefully next week I will have a cowl to show you guys. But the other thing I want to show you guys, I have a lot of Outlaw colorways in the shop right now. I basically wanted to go just mess with color and have fun the other day and not have to dye specific stuff, and not have to write down what I'm doing. So I dyed a whole lot of just fun individual. There's like only one of each of these. So I was going to show you some. I'm not going to show you the whole entire bucket because it's a whole lot, but this is one of them. These are all just called Outlaw number whatever. So each one's a different number, but they're all Outlaws. So you can find them in the shop right now. And they're all fingering weight and they're all different bases. This is on Meadow MCN. And let me see. This one's on my Starlight Sparks base. You can see it's really sparkly. And really speckly. Let's see. This is on my Barnaby BFL. Kind of reminds me of bubblegum. Let me see. What else do I have? This is on Alley Bash, which is my 100% superwash 2-ply merino. I don't know why I'm trying to move it like it's gonna do something different. Anyways, that, I really love this one too. This is on my Starlight Sparks base. I like this light. I got a new light last week, I think, and so I really like this for the sparkles. You can see them really well on here. I know before I've been like, I don't think you guys can see the sparkles, but you definitely can on this. And then I will pick one more and show you this one. So you can see a lot of them have a lot of speckles. Some of them are not as speckly, but they're all individual, one of a kind. Like, I don't know. I didn't write this down. Basically is what I'm telling you. So, yeah, there's one of each, and I will not repeat these. So if you want them, go get them. They're in the shop. I'll show you these two also. You could really do like an awesome fade with some of these too if you wanted to. If you are a person who likes to do that. If you're looking for something to fade. And you could mix and match these bases as well if you, if there were colors that you liked, you know, that were maybe not on the same base. They're all the same weight, so they would mix and match really well. So that would make a fun fade. So yeah, anyways, go check them out. Like I said, they're on my website, traintrackfiberdesigns.com, so you can go get those if you're interested. And then I had one more thing to show you guys that is not knitting related at all. I've had this for about 3 weeks or so, and I just want to tell you guys because it's helped me a lot. It's this little light right here. It's called a Ula light, I think is how you say it. And basically what it does is it blinks every like 40 minutes or so if you do not pick up your water bottle. I've had the apps on your phone where it alerts you and it tells you, hey, you need to drink water. And I just dismiss those every single time because I might stick with it for like the first day, honestly, or maybe like 2 days because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to drink water. But then it gets, you know, you have so many alerts on your phone. So I just dismiss it and it doesn't help me. Like I said, I've had this for about 3 weeks and it truly has helped me so much because this light is really bright and I either am sitting at a desk working, I'm either dyeing yarn or either I'm sitting and knitting. I'm not a very unless it's time to exercise, I'm pretty much in one spot rather than being run all over the place. So this light gets my attention. And if I see it, then I'll grab my water bottle and drink. So yeah, if you're a person who doesn't drink a lot of water, but you know you need to, that would be a good thing to get. I'll put that on knitinthezone.com too, so you guys can get it. I think it was about $20 for it. And I've been looking at them since like the springtime, and I never bought it because I was like, gosh, that's a lot of money for a stupid little light that blinks, really. But then I just felt like I was dehydrated almost all the time, and I didn't even pay attention because, you know, you get doing stuff and you don't even pay attention. And then, yeah, so basically that's what led me to it. But I think it's worth it. They don't know who I am in the world, so they don't know I'm mentioning this. I just thought it was worth sharing with you. But the one I got has a little lighthouse on it. They have a lot of different designs and things that you can get though, so they're not all like that. They have a lot of different ones. So I think that's everything. Since we got busy with holiday stuff and my husband was on vacation, I didn't really take a lot of time to read or do anything really as far as like listening to audiobooks or podcasts or anything. So I don't have anything to report on that. I'm still listening to the same stuff that I was listening to last time, which is Oprah's podcast and that book Looking for Me by Beth Hoffman. So that's all I've been up to. And maybe I might have a finished object next week. Who knows? Hopefully I'll have more progress at least on my blanket so I can show you guys that again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope you have an awesome week. I will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye guys.